Number 1. The 1964 Ford Fairlane 500. Some classic cars grab attention with massive horsepower or celebrity status. Others earn admiration through honesty, simplicity, and timeless design. In my opinion, the 1964 Ford Fairlane 500 belongs in that second category. Offered for $22,500, this Fairlane is finished in a classic green exterior with a black interior. Its styling reflects an era when American automobiles focused on clean body lines and balanced proportions rather than oversized spoilers or aggressive styling cues. Even today, more than 60 years later, the Fairlane still carries an unmistakable vintage presence. Under the hood is Ford's dependable 260 cubic inch V8, paired with a 2-speed automatic transmission. While it won't deliver the brutal acceleration of a big block muscle car, that was never the mission of the Fairlane. Instead, it was designed to provide smooth, comfortable transportation with just enough V8 character to make every drive enjoyable. According to the seller, the car has just over 117,000 original miles and continues to run and drive very well. Personally, I don't see that mileage as a drawback. For a classic vehicle of this age, consistent use and proper maintenance are often more important than an unusually low odometer reading. Cars that spend decades sitting untouched can develop problems that regularly driven classics often avoid. Another detail I appreciate is the seller's straightforward presentation. There are no exaggerated promises or unrealistic claims. The vehicle is simply described as a solid driver, with the owner either looking for a trade involving a clean Chevy 2 or a short bed square body pickup, or a cash sale at the listed price. To me, that's what makes this Fairlane appealing. It isn't pretending to be a concours restoration or a high-horsepower race car. Instead, it represents the kind of classic that can be driven, enjoyed, and appreciated without constant worry. If I were searching for an affordable vintage Ford with authentic 1960s styling, dependable V8 power, and genuine cruising character, this 1964 Fairlane 500 would certainly deserve a closer look. Sometimes, the most memorable classics aren't the fastest or the most expensive. They're simply the ones that remind us why we fell in love with classic cars in the first place. Number 2. The 1969 Chevrolet Malibu. Not every 1969 Chevrolet Chevelle needs a massive big block engine to earn respect. Sometimes, the cars that leave the biggest impression are the ones built to be driven, enjoyed, and trusted on every journey. And this particular Malibu is a perfect example. The 1969 model year marked one of the most successful chapters in Chevrolet's muscle car era. Sharing its body with the legendary Chevelle SS, the Malibu offered the same aggressive styling but with a wider range of engines and luxury options. Today, many enthusiasts see the Malibu as one of the smartest ways to enjoy the classic Chevelle experience without paying the premium commanded by high-performance SS models. This example is located in Lebanon, Ohio, with an asking price of $39,000. It has had just 2 owners, shows 76,000 miles, comes with a clean title, and according to the seller, has no significant mechanical problems. Power comes from Chevrolet's dependable 307 cubic inch V8. While it was never intended to dominate the drag strip, the 307 earned a reputation for reliability, smooth operation, and easy maintenance. In my opinion, that's exactly what many classic car buyers are looking for today. One of the biggest highlights is the rebuilt 700R4 automatic transmission. Unlike the original 3-speed gearbox, the 700R4 adds an overdrive gear, allowing the engine to cruise at lower RPM on the highway. That means quieter driving, improved fuel economy, and a much more relaxed touring experience without sacrificing the car's classic personality. Comfort was clearly a priority for this Malibu. It comes equipped with power steering, power front disc brakes, factory air conditioning, and even cruise control, features that were considered premium equipment in their day and still make a noticeable difference behind the wheel. According to the seller, the body and frame remain very solid. The chrome and stainless trim are in good condition. The car received a repaint about 10 years ago, and it has already been fitted with new tires and a new exhaust system, saving the next owner from some immediate maintenance costs. In my opinion, this isn't the Chevelle that tries to be the loudest or the fastest. Instead, it's a well-preserved, thoughtfully upgraded classic that delivers comfort, reliability, and timeless American styling. For someone looking to enjoy the open road rather than chase trophies, this 1969 Chevrolet Malibu could be one of the most rewarding classics on the market. Number 3. The 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle. Few American muscle cars have reached legendary status quite like the 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle. Widely considered the peak of Chevrolet's muscle car era, the 1970 model combined bold styling with serious performance, making it one of the most desirable classics among collectors today. This particular Chevelle is located in Lowell, Massachusetts, with an asking price of $80,000. While the seller doesn't list the mileage, they do mention that the car received a complete frame-off restoration several years ago and has been garage-kept ever since. A frame-off restoration is one of the highest standards in the classic car world. It means the body was completely separated from the chassis so every major component could be restored, repaired, or refinished individually. When performed correctly, this type of restoration requires hundreds of hours of work and can dramatically increase both the quality and value of a classic car. Another highlight is the manual transmission. For many enthusiasts, shifting gears yourself is part of what makes driving a vintage Chevelle such a memorable experience. It creates a stronger connection between the driver and the car while preserving the authentic muscle car feel that made these machines famous. Interestingly, the seller keeps the description very brief, simply stating that there's too much to list and inviting serious buyers to call for additional details. That means important information, such as the engine specifications, restoration records, and documentation, should all be verified before making a purchase. In my opinion, this Chevelle has all the ingredients of a highly desirable collector car. The frame-off restoration, manual transmission, and careful storage are all major positives. However, with an asking price of $80,000, I'd still want to inspect the restoration quality and review the documentation before making a final decision. If everything checks out, this could easily be one of the finest examples of Chevrolet's most iconic muscle car era. Number 4. The 1974 Mercury Monterey two-door coupe. The 1974 Mercury Monterey is one of those forgotten American classics that rarely gets the attention it deserves. While many collectors focus on Mustangs, Camaros, or Chevelles, the full-size Monterey offers a completely different experience. It represents an era when American cars emphasized comfort, smooth highway cruising, and distinctive styling over outright performance. Because relatively few two-door Monterey models have survived in original condition, finding one today has become increasingly uncommon. This particular example is especially interesting because the seller describes it as a documented one-of-one factory build. According to the documentation, the car was built with an extremely unusual combination of factory options, including the absence of both a radio and a dashboard clock. Those unusual specifications reportedly make this Monterey unique among all 1974 production models, giving it an extra level of collector appeal beyond its already limited production. Finished in green with a matching green interior, the car perfectly captures the styling trends of the mid-1970s. Rather than restoring or modifying it, the owners have chosen to preserve its originality. The factory paint, original upholstery, and even the original Mercury floor mats are still present, giving the car the authentic feel of a genuine survivor rather than a restored showpiece. Another major highlight is the incredibly low mileage. With just over 28,000 original miles, this Monterey has seen very limited use throughout its life. The seller explains that the original owner mainly drove the car to church on weekends before it passed to a close friend, who carefully preserved both the vehicle and much of its original documentation. That documented ownership history adds credibility and makes the car even more appealing to collectors who value provenance. Mechanically, the seller states that the Monterey starts easily, runs well, and has required very little maintenance over the years. Its most recent service included a fresh oil change, a complete fluid inspection, and a new battery, meaning it appears ready for its next owner to enjoy immediately. All of the major gauges, including the speedometer, odometer, and fuel gauge, are also reported to be functioning correctly. Like any survivor approaching 50 years of age, the car isn't completely flawless. The seller openly mentions a few cosmetic imperfections, including minor paint blemishes and a couple of small dents. However, the rust is said to be minimal, and personally, I don't see those small flaws as negatives. In fact, I think they help tell the story of an honest, well-preserved classic that hasn't been over-restored or stripped of its original character. What impresses me most is how complete and authentic this Monterey appears to be. In today's collector market, originality often carries just as much value as a perfect restoration, and surviving cars with documented history and low mileage are becoming increasingly difficult to find. This Mercury feels more like a rolling time capsule than simply another vintage automobile. Overall, I believe this 1974 Mercury Monterey two-door coupe represents a rare opportunity for collectors who appreciate originality over modification. Its documented one-of-one factory configuration, extremely low mileage, preserved condition, and fascinating ownership history make it stand out from most full-size American classics of the era. At an asking price of around $15,995, I think it offers excellent value for someone looking to own a truly unique piece of Mercury history that is as much a conversation starter as it is a pleasure to drive. Number 5. The 1970 Oldsmobile 442 Holiday Coupe. What if I told you that for just $69,900, you could own one of the rarest factory muscle car setups ever built, a 1974 442 with a 455 V8 and a manual transmission? This isn't your average restored classic. It's a numbers-matching holiday coupe, built in early 1970, and still carrying its original drivetrain according to the seller. Right away, that already puts it in rare territory. It was originally sold in Daytona Beach, Florida, and stayed there its entire life. That matters. Florida cars usually avoid heavy rust, and that alone can mean a much cleaner, more solid body compared to most survivors from this era. Under the hood is Oldsmobile's famous 455 big block V8, known for massive torque and effortless power. But the real highlight here is the factory 3-speed manual transmission. Most 442s came automatic, so finding a manual car like this instantly makes it more desirable to collectors. Inside, you get a gold vinyl interior, console setup, power steering, and factory air conditioning. It's still a usable classic, not just a garage queen. The seller also includes key documentation like the original build sheet and warranty paperwork. And in the collector world, that kind of paperwork adds real confidence and value. There are also practical upgrades like an aluminum radiator and dual exhaust, helping reliability without changing the character of the car. Mileage shows around 33,000, though it's not fully verified. Still, the condition and paperwork suggest a well-preserved example. So, is it worth it? In my opinion, yes, if you want something rare, original, and factory correct. A 1974 442 with a 455 and manual transmission is already uncommon. With documentation, it becomes even harder to replace. It's not cheap, but it's not supposed to be. Because this isn't just a muscle car. It's a rare piece of Oldsmobile history you can still drive. Number 6. The 1963 Buick Riviera Coupe. What if one of America's most beautiful luxury cars could be yours for less than the price of a brand new economy sedan? That's exactly what makes this 1963 Buick Riviera so intriguing. Listed for just $17,500, this first-year Riviera represents one of the boldest designs General Motors ever produced. When it debuted in 1963, Buick wanted to build a personal luxury coupe that looked sophisticated without sacrificing V8 performance. More than 60 years later, many enthusiasts still consider this to be the best-looking Riviera ever made. Finished in crisp white over a sandalwood-colored interior, this example perfectly complements the Riviera's elegant styling. From its hidden headlights and sharp body lines to the subtle chrome trim, the design feels refined rather than excessive. Even parked, it has a presence that's difficult to ignore. Under the hood sits Buick's legendary 401 cubic inch nailhead V8, paired with a 2-speed turbine drive automatic transmission. The nailhead earned its reputation for delivering effortless low-end torque and smooth highway cruising, making it an ideal engine for a grand touring coupe like this. While it wasn't designed to dominate drag strips, it provided the kind of quiet, confident power that luxury buyers expected during the early 1960s. According to the seller, the odometer shows just 47,000 miles, and the car has already received an extensive mechanical restoration. New brake lines, fuel lines, brakes, and a fresh exhaust system have all been installed. Personally, I think that's one of the strongest selling points of this car. Mechanical work is often one of the biggest expenses with any classic, so having those essential systems already refreshed could save the next owner both time and money. The Riviera also comes nicely equipped with power steering, power windows, a center console, the original style AM radio, and Buick's distinctive fin drum brakes. These details help preserve the authentic driving experience while reminding you that this was considered a premium automobile in its day. So, is it worth the asking price? In my opinion, absolutely. First-generation Rivieras have developed a loyal following because they combine elegant styling, dependable Buick engineering, and genuine collector appeal. Considering its documented mechanical updates, desirable 401 nailhead V8, and attractive presentation, this example appears to offer an impressive amount of classic American luxury for the money. If I were searching for a vintage coupe that delivers style, comfort, and unmistakable 1960s character without reaching six-figure prices, this 1963 Buick Riviera would be a car I'd want to see in person before someone else adds it to their collection. Number 7. The 1963 Buick Riviera. Some cars don't need massive spoilers or aggressive styling to make a statement. Sometimes, elegance speaks louder than horsepower. And when the Buick Riviera debuted in 1963, it proved that American luxury could be every bit as striking as the finest grand touring cars from Europe. The 1963 Riviera was Buick's answer to a growing demand for personal luxury coupes. Its clean body lines, hidden sophistication, and unmistakable proportions quickly made it one of General Motors' most celebrated designs. Even today, many collectors consider the first-generation Riviera one of the most beautiful American cars ever built. This particular example is located in Plymouth, Massachusetts, with an asking price of $17,500. It shows 47,000 miles, carries a clean title, and according to the seller, has no significant mechanical or structural problems. Power comes from Buick's legendary 401 cubic inch nailhead V8, an engine famous for its tremendous low-end torque and smooth, effortless performance. Paired with Buick's two-speed turbine drive automatic transmission, this Riviera wasn't designed to dominate the drag strip. Instead, it was engineered to deliver quiet, confident cruising with the refined character expected from a premium American coupe. One detail that immediately stands out is the amount of mechanical work that's already been completed. The seller states that the brake lines, fuel lines, braking system, and exhaust have all been restored. In my opinion, those are some of the most important upgrades on a 60-year-old classic because they improve both reliability and safety without altering the car's originality. Finished in white over a sandalwood vinyl interior, this Riviera retains much of the elegance that made the model famous. Chrome bumpers, 15-inch rally wheels, a full-length center console, power steering, power windows, fin drum brakes, and the original AM radio all help preserve its authentic 1960s luxury atmosphere. What I find especially appealing is that this car appears to balance originality with usability. Rather than being heavily modified, it remains faithful to Buick's original vision while benefiting from thoughtful mechanical restoration. That means the next owner can spend more time enjoying the drive and less time worrying about deferred maintenance. In my opinion, this 1963 Buick Riviera represents one of the best values in the world of American luxury classics. It combines timeless styling, the unmistakable character of the nailhead V8, documented mechanical improvements, and a level of sophistication that's becoming increasingly difficult to find at this price point. For anyone searching for a classic that's as refined as it is memorable, this Riviera deserves a very close look. Number 8. The 1970 Buick Riviera GS. Not every classic car on the market is a perfectly restored showpiece. Sometimes, the most interesting opportunities are the ones that offer solid potential at a price that leaves room for improvement. This 1970 Buick Riviera GS is a perfect example. The 1970 Riviera represented Buick's unique approach to the American personal luxury coupe. Unlike many muscle cars of its era, the Riviera combined bold styling with effortless V8 power, premium comfort, and unmistakable road presence. The GS, or Grand Sport Package, added a more performance-oriented personality, making it one of the more desirable Riviera models from the early 70s. This particular Riviera GS is located in Sykesville, Maryland, with an asking price of just $9,800. It shows approximately 60,000 miles and is equipped with an automatic transmission. Finished in black with a white custom interior, the car certainly has a striking appearance, although the seller notes that the paint is no longer original. According to the listing, the engine starts easily and the car runs, which is always encouraging when shopping for a classic that's more than 50 years old. The suspension has also been modified with coilover components, a change that can improve handling and ride quality depending on how the system was installed and tuned. However, the seller is also honest about a few issues. The power steering has a leak that will need attention, and because both the paint and interior have been customized, collectors looking for a completely original example may see that as a drawback. On the other hand, buyers who simply want a stylish classic to drive and personalize may not mind those changes at all. In my opinion, the biggest attraction here is the price. Finding a running and driving 1970 Buick Riviera GS for under $10,000 is becoming increasingly uncommon. While it will likely require some mechanical attention and isn't a factory original survivor, it appears to offer a solid foundation for someone looking to own a distinctive American classic without spending a fortune. With a careful inspection and a realistic restoration budget, this Riviera could become a very rewarding project and a unique cruiser that stands out wherever it goes. Number 9. The 1969 Ford Galaxie 500 Coupe. The 1969 Ford Galaxie 500 is one of those classic American full-size cars that perfectly captures the style and character of the late 1960s. Long before SUVs dominated the roads, cars like the Galaxie were built to provide spacious interiors, smooth highway manners, and unmistakable styling. While muscle cars from the same era often steal the spotlight, the Galaxie has quietly earned a loyal following among enthusiasts who appreciate big-body classics with timeless looks and comfortable driving characteristics. This particular Galaxie is powered by a 351 Windsor V8 paired with an automatic transmission, creating a combination that's known for reliability, strong parts availability, and straightforward maintenance. According to the seller, the engine has been rebuilt using a roller block sourced from a 1995 Ford F-150. That upgrade is a nice advantage because the later roller blocks generally offer improved durability and make future performance upgrades easier compared to the earlier engine designs. The braking system has also received attention, with the seller noting that the factory drum brakes have been completely gone through and rebuilt. Even though many enthusiasts prefer front disc brake conversions, having the original system fully serviced provides added confidence and shows that important maintenance hasn't been overlooked. One thing that stands out about this listing is the asking price. At only $4,000, this Galaxie is positioned well below what many comparable running full-size classics sell for today. The seller explains that the low price isn't due to a major mechanical problem, but rather because they're moving before the end of July and need to sell the car quickly. Situations like this can sometimes create excellent buying opportunities for someone who's ready to act. The car is showing approximately 72,000 miles, though, as with many classics of this age, it's always wise to verify documentation if original mileage is important. From the information provided, the Galaxie appears to be a solid running and driving project that already benefits from one of the biggest expenses being completed, a rebuilt engine. Personally, I think this is exactly the kind of classic that appeals to someone who enjoys driving and improving a vintage car rather than chasing a perfect concours restoration. The 351 Windsor is an excellent engine with endless aftermarket support, and the Galaxie's large engine bay makes future upgrades relatively straightforward if the next owner wants more performance. Overall, I believe this 1969 Ford Galaxie 500 represents outstanding value in today's classic car market. A rebuilt 351 Windsor, service braking system, automatic transmission, and an asking price of just $4,000 make it difficult to ignore. It may not be a fully restored show car, but for someone looking for an affordable, full-size American classic with plenty of potential, this Galaxie could be one of the best bargains currently available. Number 10. The 1971 Cadillac Eldorado. What if I told you that for just $6,000, you could own one of the biggest, most luxurious American cars ever built, powered by Cadillac's legendary 500 cubic inch V8. This 1971 Cadillac Eldorado isn't a muscle car, and it doesn't pretend to be. Instead, it's all about effortless cruising, comfort, and classic American luxury on a massive scale. Finished in its original Casablanca yellow with a matching yellow interior, This Eldorado has a color combination that immediately transports you back to the early 1970s. It's bold, distinctive, and exactly what you'd expect from Cadillac during its golden years. One of the most impressive parts of this car is its history. According to the seller, it remained with its original owner until 2025 and has been garage kept its entire life. That's the kind of ownership story collectors love because it usually means the car has been cared for instead of passed from owner to owner. Under the hood is Cadillac's famous 500 cubic inch, or 8.2-liter V8, one of the largest production passenger car engines ever built. The seller says it starts every time, runs perfectly, and the brakes perform well despite this luxury coupe weighing nearly 4,600 pounds. Inside, the cabin appears to be remarkably well preserved. The dashboard is crack-free, the carpet shows very little wear, and even the power seat, windows, and door locks are still working. Aside from one small tear in the driver's seat, the interior sounds exceptionally original for a car that's more than 50 years old. Of course, it isn't perfect. The air conditioning, heater, and radio currently don't work, and there's a small tear in the vinyl roof. But considering the asking price, those are issues many buyers would gladly accept. So, is it worth it? In my opinion, absolutely. Finding a mostly original, two-owner Cadillac Eldorado with a running 500 V8 for only $6,000 is becoming increasingly rare. Even if a few comfort features need attention, the car already offers the most important things: a solid history, original character, and a drivetrain that's ready to enjoy. Because sometimes, classic car ownership isn't about going fast. It's about floating down the highway in one of the greatest luxury cruisers America ever built. Number 11. The 1966 Ford Mustang. Few cars have changed American automotive history quite like the Ford Mustang. And even after nearly 6 decades, it's still one of the most recognizable classics ever built. This 1966 Mustang is listed for just $15,200, a price that immediately raises an interesting question. Has this become one of the best remaining values in the classic car market? Finished in a rich burgundy exterior with an off-white interior, this Mustang has the kind of timeless appearance that helped make the first-generation model an instant success. Introduced during the height of America's performance era, the Mustang offered buyers sporty styling, affordable pricing, and endless customization options. It wasn't just a new car, it created an entirely new class of automobile known as the pony car. According to the seller, this particular example spent much of its life in California before moving to New York in 2017. That's an encouraging detail because California cars often avoid the severe rust issues commonly found in regions with harsh winters and salted roads. While every classic should still be inspected carefully, its history certainly adds to its appeal. Over the past year, the car has received several important updates, including a brand new vinyl top and headliner installed in 2024. It also benefits from a new battery, a replacement water pump, miscellaneous electrical repairs, and front-end work. Personally, I always like seeing maintenance focused on reliability instead of just appearance. Mechanical improvements are often what make the difference between a classic that's enjoyable to own and one that spends most of its time in the garage. The odometer currently shows around 64,000 miles, and the seller describes the Mustang as a real head-turner that's simply fun to drive. That may sound like a simple statement, but in many ways it captures exactly why these early Mustangs remain so popular. They aren't just collector's items, they're cars that invite you to get behind the wheel and enjoy the road. So, is it worth the asking price? In my opinion, yes. For a little over $15,000, you're getting one of the most iconic American classics ever produced, with recent maintenance already completed and a California history that could make it even more desirable. It's not presented as a concours show car or a high-performance Shelby tribute. Instead, it appears to be an honest, well-kept Mustang built for weekend cruises, local car shows, and the simple enjoyment of classic motoring. Sometimes the greatest classics aren't defined by horsepower alone. They're remembered because they make every drive feel special, and that's exactly what the 1966 Ford Mustang has been doing for generations. Number 12. The 1966 Pontiac Lemans. Not every classic car has to be a fire-breathing muscle machine to earn a place in an enthusiast's garage. Sometimes, the most rewarding classics are the ones that have been carefully preserved, thoughtfully maintained, and are still ready to hit the road decades after they first left the factory. This 1966 Pontiac Lemans is one of those cars. Introduced during one of the most exciting periods in American automotive history, the Lemans shared much of its styling with the legendary GTO. While the GTO became famous for raw performance, the Lemans offered buyers the same handsome body lines with a greater emphasis on comfort, practicality, and everyday drivability. Today, many collectors appreciate the Lemans because it delivers the unmistakable look of a mid-60s Pontiac without the premium price often associated with its high-performance sibling. This particular car is located in Danbury, New Hampshire, with an asking price of just $13,500. It shows a little over 66,000 miles and is described as being in very good condition. Under the hood is Pontiac's dependable 326 cubic inch V8 paired with an automatic transmission. While it wasn't designed to compete with the biggest muscle cars of its era, the 326 is known for smooth performance, solid reliability, and enough power to make cruising enjoyable. In my opinion, it's an excellent engine for someone looking to own a classic that's easy to drive and maintain. One feature that really stands out is the documented ownership history. According to the seller, the car remained with one owner from 1996 until it was sold in 2022, before eventually being inherited by the current owner in 2023. Even better, maintenance records are available, providing confidence that this Lemans has been cared for rather than neglected. The seller also lists an impressive amount of recent mechanical work. The timing chain, rear main seal, transmission seals, transmission cooler lines, lower radiator hose, steering components, spark plugs, coolant, transmission fluid, and routine oil service have all been completed. Personally, I think that's exactly the kind of investment buyers hope to see, because these repairs address many of the common maintenance items found on a 60-year-old vehicle. The car has been garage kept during the winter, starts easily, runs smoothly, and nearly everything is reported to function properly, including the lights, turn signals, heater, and windshield wipers. The only known issue is a non-working radio caused by a broken antenna. It even comes with its original owner's manual still stored in the glove box, a small but meaningful detail that collectors often appreciate. In my opinion, this 1966 Pontiac Lemans isn't trying to be something it isn't. Instead, it offers honest ownership history, documented maintenance, dependable V8 power, and classic Pontiac styling at a price that's surprisingly accessible. For anyone looking to step into the world of American classics without spending a fortune, this Lemans could be one of the most sensible and enjoyable choices currently available. Number 13. The 1966 Pontiac Lemans. The 1966 Pontiac Lemans has long lived in the shadow of its famous sibling, the GTO. But for many classic car enthusiasts, that's exactly what makes the Lemans so appealing. It offers the same unmistakable mid-60s Pontiac styling, a comfortable driving experience, and plenty of room for performance upgrades, all without carrying the premium price tag of a genuine GTO. This particular example is located in Verona, New York, with an asking price of $29,500. Finished in bright red over a black interior, the car is described as being in very good condition with a clean title and approximately 85,000 miles on the odometer. Unlike a factory original Lemans, this one has received a significant performance upgrade. Under the hood is a Pontiac 400 cubic inch V8, paired with the highly respected Turbo 400 automatic transmission. The TH400 has earned a reputation as one of General Motors' strongest automatic gearboxes, making it a popular choice for powerful street cars thanks to its durability and smooth performance. The seller also highlights several important reliability improvements. A brand new painless wiring harness has been installed from front to back, replacing the aging factory electrical system with modern wiring designed to improve dependability and reduce electrical problems. In addition, the car has received a new starter, a new alternator, and an upgraded four-wheel disc brake system, giving it significantly better stopping power than the original drum brakes. These upgrades suggest that the focus wasn't just on making the car faster, but also on making it more reliable and enjoyable to drive in today's traffic. Modern electrical components and improved brakes are among the most valuable improvements many classic car owners choose to make. In my opinion, this 1966 Pontiac Lemans strikes a nice balance between classic character and practical upgrades. The 400 V8, Turbo 400 transmission, modern wiring, and four-wheel disc brakes make it far more usable than many stock examples. While collectors seeking complete originality may prefer a factory-correct car, enthusiasts looking for a dependable weekend cruiser with strong Pontiac performance will likely find plenty to like here. At $29,500, this Lemans appears to offer a well-rounded package that's ready to be enjoyed from day one. Number 14. The 1968 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme Holiday Coupe. The 1968 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme Holiday Coupe is one of the most elegant American intermediates of the muscle car era. While many enthusiasts immediately gravitate toward Chevelles, GTOs, or Roadrunners, the Cutlass Supreme carved out its own identity by combining sporty styling with Oldsmobile's reputation for refinement, comfort, and solid build quality. It offered a more upscale driving experience without sacrificing the bold presence that defined late 1960s American coupes. This particular holiday coupe is finished in a beautiful blue exterior paired with a black interior, a timeless combination that highlights the car's flowing body lines and chrome accents. The pillarless hardtop design, what Oldsmobile referred to as the holiday coupe, gives the car an especially clean profile when the windows are rolled down, creating one of the most attractive silhouettes of its era. According to the seller, the car is in excellent condition throughout. The chrome trim is described as clean and bright, the body is straight, and both the floors and structural panels are said to be solid. Those are important qualities for any classic from the late 1960s, since rust repair can quickly become one of the most expensive parts of a restoration. The interior is another major highlight. It's described as being in mint condition, suggesting that the seats, dashboard, door panels, and trim have either been exceptionally well preserved or carefully restored. A clean, factory-style interior always adds to the overall appeal because it maintains the authentic feel that many collectors appreciate. Power comes through an automatic transmission, making this Cutlass well suited for comfortable cruising rather than aggressive performance driving. That's exactly where a car like this shines. Whether it's a weekend drive, a local cruise night, or a classic car show, the Cutlass Supreme delivers the kind of relaxed experience that made these cars so popular when they were new. The odometer currently shows just under 5,000 miles, although the listing doesn't specify whether that reflects original mileage or mileage since restoration. Regardless, the overall presentation suggests a car that has been very well cared for and maintained. Personally, I've always thought the 1968 Cutlass Supreme is one of the most underrated classics from the GM family. It has all the styling, presence, and craftsmanship of its more famous relatives, yet it often flies under the radar. That makes it especially appealing for enthusiasts who want something distinctive without owning the same muscle car everyone else brings to a show. Overall, I think this 1968 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme Holiday Coupe is an excellent choice for someone looking for a clean, stylish, and well-preserved American classic. With its attractive color combination, straight body, rust-free structure, beautiful interior, and strong overall presentation, it appears ready to be enjoyed immediately. At an asking price of $29,500, it offers an appealing blend of classic design, comfort, and collector appeal that should continue to age gracefully. Number 15. The 1969 Chevelle Malibu. What if I told you that for just $45,000, you could own one of the most iconic muscle car body styles ever made, now powered by a big block 454 V8? At first glance, this 1969 Chevelle Malibu looks like a clean, well-presented classic muscle car. But what makes it interesting is what's changed under the hood. It originally started life as a 350 small block car, but it's now been upgraded to a 454 big block, turning it into a much more aggressive, torque-heavy street machine. And that's really what defines this build: power over originality. The car is paired with an automatic transmission and backed by a 12-bolt Posey rear end with 3.73 gears, which is a classic muscle car setup. That combination is known for strong acceleration and that deep, heavy pull that big block Chevelles are famous for. According to the seller, the car is solid and rust-free with original panels. That's a big deal in the classic car world, because rust repair is often the most expensive part of restoring these cars. Here, you're starting with a structurally solid foundation. The paint is described as nice, and the car wears new wheels and tires, giving it a more modern stance while still keeping that classic late 60s Chevelle look. It's not a trailer queen show build, but it presents well, more of a driver-quality muscle car that you can actually enjoy. One thing I like about this listing is its honesty. The seller doesn't claim it's perfect. They clearly state it isn't perfect but shows well, which usually means you're looking at a car that has been enjoyed, maintained, and upgraded rather than over-restored and hidden away. So, is it worth it? In my opinion, yes, if you're looking for a classic Chevelle that already has the right formula. Big block power, posy traction rear end, solid body, and a clean presentation. It may not be a numbers-matching collector piece, but it makes up for that with usable performance and real-world muscle car character. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about originality. It's about a 454-powered Chevelle that you can turn the key on and feel exactly what American muscle was meant to be.